All right, I wish my mama kwaba emra odi asempa TV. Musonfo odi asempa dey. Twedi ampo ebie kwan ne emienu ehwe we dem gidi se oho eye. Sa na me so odman kuma da romanti me ho odin. Abusia ye to aba wie dey aya na kofo bebre na e ka se Dr. Mahmood Bawomia e na kane mampanyin aduji adogagai. Obia ehu ba bia wafa. But this time around no Dr. Mahmood Bawomia wakopiem ewo Hervard University na eho na okoma speech bi ahodo a o kire ekwan a eba ne se yen abibiman mu hanom Ghana in particular ekwan a ye befa so a ye betumi ade akekere ya man na ma eba ne se impuntudwuma nkasa ebe koso eba ne se ye agriculture sector no ene eba ne se ye mfidi nwuma ahodo na nkasa na eno na o kire mu se yen stick to technology and I say digital world now they be not the campaign digitization no now even throw much attention concerning about AI no aban me to the speech Dr. Mahmood Bawomia a man or honor in fact a perfect speech but the question is how say your leaders nankasan in normal be implement no and no any answer no because Dr. Mahmood Bawomia ne campaign mu na oka digitization na so na digitization na yehu so then afi kra no ade ba akokra na omoka na a PC me off na in fact a hardware pa e ba ne network system a hardware but ni na so no Dr. Mahmood Bawomia address e wo Harvard University wallo nti abusia mencha wono yenkwe na yenko tie speech Dr. Mahmood Bawomia man won ba message so nya subscribe ya ba subscribe no share no like it na free also obecha wadwin e wo comment section no ase won yenko tie mra
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago, I was here at Hervard for the African Development Conference. I had the opportunity to interact with students and faculty and share my thoughts on how we can reimagine Africa's growth on our terms. It is a privilege to be back here for this year's conference, and I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers for providing this platform to engage with some of the world's brightest minds on the future of Africa. It is the case that we are in the midst of a global digital revolution. Artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things. They are not just buzzwords. They are reshaping our world. Digitalization is no longer at the periphery. It is front and center. It is a necessity for survival and prosperity in the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa missed the first industrial revolution, which saw the transition from manual small-scale production to mechanized production in agriculture and goods like textiles. The second industrial revolution, with the widespread use of electricity, powered mass production and assembly lines. The third industrial revolution, which was set off by the introduction of computers, and also did not see Africa jump on and develop like others. We are now in the fourth industrial revolution, where the technologies have come together in a global network to create the internet, which is the greatest machine ever created by mankind, I would say, and using that to also energize tools and equipment to make them smart, to create the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, which have opened up amazing possibilities with no end in sight. For us, as a continent, from our past experiences and those of others, developed and developing, is the awareness of the importance boldly, decisively, yet cooperatively. policymakers in Africa must act with a mindset of possibilities. We should embrace technology and not be intimidated by it. We must believe that we can leapfrog the advanced nations in many areas if we put our minds to it. Today, I will focus on how Ghana has strategically leveraged digitalization as a tool to unlock economic opportunities key to combating unemployment and creating growth. For over 60 years after independence, Ghana had largely an informal system without many of the basic elements necessary for a modern economic system. Today, however, we are building a formal systems and database economy based to compete in the fourth industrial revolution. Our challenge is to use digitalization to solve current problems while laying the foundation for the future of jobs, leapfrogging from the second to the fourth industrial revolution. There is mounting empirical evidence that highlights the transformative potential of digital innovation to create jobs, boost productivity, increase income levels, and foster wealth creation. Over the last 8 years, Ghana has embarked on an aggressive policy of digitalization to jumpstart economic transformation of our country. However, I must state that we chose the path of digitalization not for its own sake. Our focus is on digital technology that can solve our problems. At this stage of our development, we are not looking to have driverless cars or humanoids, for example. We want technology that can solve our problems in agriculture, health, education, access to credit, the payment system efficiency, public service delivery, revenue mobilization, and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, before the start of this journey, digitalization was not part of our mainstream development equation. It was largely seen as a peripheral concern, not central to the country's national development agenda. My focus on digitalization as Vice President was the subject sometimes of ridicule by political opponents, but I stuck to my vision and set out to use digitalization to solve some of the everyday problems faced by Ghanaians, and in so doing, build an engine for economic growth and job creation. The most important challenge for our economy as far as digitalization was concerned was that in Ghana, most people couldn't be uniquely identified. Practically, it was possible to be born, live your entire life, die and be buried in Ghana without there being any official record that you ever existed. Everyday interactions with public services, whether it's by applying for a driver's license, passport, or any government permit, became difficult. Corruption was also widespread, and taking bribes became almost normal in the delivery of many public services. Other challenges we faced included that the absence of a functional national property address system. A modern economy simply cannot function without a reliable address system. A large formal economy also existed, the reliance on cash payments. The informal sector dominates much of our economy, and cash transactions were the norm, which makes tracking and managing economic activity difficult. We also had a large portion of the population lacking access to formal financial services and leaving many financially excluded from the system. Our databases were mostly working in the organization's own silo, and they were not integrated with that of other public service providers, creating inefficiencies across various sectors. We also had manual record keeping, which was predominant in our health care system, and this slowed down the processes of service delivery. Also, those living in rural and remote regions were very much underserved with limited access to quality healthcare services. Most citizens did not file taxes, and there was no effective way to track or ensure widespread tax compliance. When we came into office, only 4% of the adult population had tax identification numbers. We also had no broad-based, individualized credit scoring system. And can you imagine what will happen, ladies and gentlemen, to employment in the United States if you face some of these challenges, such as no social security number, no address system, no credit scoring, and so on? It will be a completely different economy that will emerge. So I came to the conclusion that most of the problems and challenges that we faced as a nation in Ghana, that we had lived with for the last 60 years after independence, could be solved through digitalization. In fact, I had expressed this view in a book that I had authored 7 years before I became vice president. We therefore, upon coming into office, moved quickly to implement many digital initiatives to address these problems. For the sake of time, however, I will limit myself to a few of the problems we have addressed through digitalization. To address the problem of unique identity, we took the decision to move quickly with the issuance of a biometric national ID card, which we call the Ghana card, to the population. So far, over 85% of adults have been issued with the Ghana card, and the issuance has provided Ghana a database that will be the anchor for all transactions in the future, providing unique identity to all individuals. It will help government plan, track individuals from birth to death, fight crime, improve access to credit, ease access to government services, eliminate ghost workers, and eliminate the use of fake identities, amongst others. We also designated the Ghana card number, this unique identity, for individuals as the tax identification number for the country, the social security number, the health insurance number, amongst others. So the Ghana card is linked to all the SIM cards, all the bank accounts, driver's license, and so on, vehicle registrations. So by making the Ghana card number the tax identification number, for example, we increased immediately the proportion of adults with tax identification numbers from 4% to 85%. To solve the problem of a lack of a working address system in the country, we have leveraged on GPS technology to implement a digital address system for Ghana, capturing every square inch of land or water in Ghana. In the process, we've identified and provided unique addresses for all properties in Ghana, whether it's in the village or the towns or the cities. Ghana is just one of the few countries in the world that have deployed a nationwide digital property address system. And with the help of digital technology, in just 1 year, this problem that we had lived with for over 60 years was solved. Then I come to the issue of financial inclusion. When we assumed office, the data showed that some 70% of people in Ghana had no bank accounts. However, 80% of the adult population had mobile phones, many of them having mobile money accounts. It was, however, not possible to send money to customers of different telephone companies or to bank accounts. So we asked the questions, why can't we make it possible to send mobile money across the different telcos and also to bank accounts? The answer to these questions was the implementation of the groundbreaking mobile money interoperability system across all the banks and all the telecom companies. Today, therefore, with the implementation of our mobile money interoperability system, you can send money from any mobile money wallet to a bank account or to another mobile money wallet of another telecom company.
Hello?
Ghana is the first country and one of the very few in the world to achieve this type of interoperability between bank accounts and mobile wallets. Following the implementation of mobile money interoperability, the mobile money account in Ghana is practically a bank account and has resulted in financial inclusion of over 90% of the average population. As a result, Ghana is now ranked as the only country in Africa with 100% access to financial inclusion, because every adult Ghanaian can either get a traditional bank account or a mobile money account which works like a bank account. The data shows that because of the implementation of mobile money interoperability, Ghana is the fastest growing mobile money market in Africa. We've also seen a 40-fold increase in mobile money transactions in the last 8 years. Ghana is also the only country in Africa and one of only a few in the world with a fully interoperable multiple instant payment system. In addition, Ghana has been ranked as the best in the world as far as mobile money regulation is concerned. Furthermore, Ghana has implemented a universal QR code payment system, one of only 4 countries in the world to do so, the others being Singapore, India, and China. Ghana is therefore at the cutting edge of the implementation of digital technology in the world. The digital payments infrastructure, along with the digital property address system, is boosting e-commerce in Ghana and creating jobs. E-commerce is also booming across many sales are now taking place over Instagram, over Facebook, across websites. Many people who could not afford to rent or build shops are able to do business on the internet with little cost, with deliveries held by the digital address system and payments using mobile money interoperability. Ladies and gentlemen, to improve access to government services, we have deployed what we call the Citizens App. The Citizens App is a comprehensive digital platform designed to centralize and enhance interactions between government and citizens. With this single, unified, user-friendly platform, we have consolidated all public services onto one platform to enhance efficiency, accessibility, and convenience to all citizens and residents. So if you want to apply for a passport, birth certificate, driver's license, pay your taxes, clear goods at the port, and so on, pay your utility bills, local assembly tolls, and so on, or even book and pay for intercity transport, change your name after marriage, and so on, you can do all of that in one place on your mobile phone. It is a one-stop shop for accessing government services. At the heart of the Citizens App is the data interoperability system that has allowed the integration of government databases that were sitting in silos. Estonia is probably the best in the world at the integration of databases of government. So I led a team to Estonia last year to understudy their system. We found out that what we were missing in Ghana was a data interoperability system, which is known as the X-Road in Estonia. Following the example of Estonia, Ghana has also, a few months ago, recently implemented the the Data Interoperability System to underpin our Citizens Act. So we now call it the Citizens Act Data Interoperability System or CADIS. And this is to integrate all the existing government databases, for example, the databases of the National Identification Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Drivers and Bikes Vehicle Licensing Authority, the Passport Office, National Health Insurance, Social Security, the SIM cards, and so on. The CADIS is a distributed information exchange platform that makes it possible for these different systems to communicate across all the government sector. For example, the police will be able to access data from the tax authority, or the business registry, and so on. The driver's licensing, and so on. This will bring a lot of transparency, discipline, and efficiency into our economy and society. CADIS, Citizens App Data Interoperability System, is, as far as I know, the first of its kind on the continent and one of the few in the world. I consider CADIS as one of our biggest accomplishments in the digitalization space. Many developed and advanced countries have a challenge of integrating data across the government sectors because you have legacy systems and other issues that have prevented many of the advanced countries from doing so. And this is one area where developing countries like Ghana can easily leapfrog. Ladies and gentlemen, the accelerated digitalization of government services has transformed how citizens securely and efficiently interact with public institutions. Coupled with the widespread issuance of the Ghana card, the integration of national databases, and the remarkable expansion of financial inclusion driven by mobile money interoperability, Ghana has leveraged on this data to facilitate the implementation of a comprehensive individualized credit scoring system for the first time. I launched Ghana's credit scoring system just a few months ago. The credit scoring system will enhance access to credit, strengthen trust in our financial ecosystem, paving the way for a thriving credit economy and job creation. The credit scoring system, as it was done elsewhere, will also reduce non-performing loans and interest rates. This is a huge achievement for Ghana as far as we are concerned, as it is now one of the few African countries with an individualized credit scoring system, and we would like to see all of Africa move, of course, in this direction. We've also digitalized the health sector.
no kwamo mienka na awodi nipa pina ekwa tetimu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wo mo yade se wo mbemu wenya basisi a yade bi tise stroke gonorrhea anabama wale mre e wampamu low sperm count wo mo wanu aduro tatahwe ene je sam se seba ne sunsumu nsama wo mo telete se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wo betu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo bokofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma edemom se mosini ene enzimani akabom dia sunsumu niama asie betu obi aje wukunu anasa wo yere awaresem adwuma sam akwantuom nsam ni nyina ayasuma sam fabadan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number aye didi djuma no aye 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. You be do us some amount.